You all today. Welcome to TotallyBeads Live. Today I'm going to be showing you how to make a lovely Reaver bracelet. So we're using some gorgeous Czech teardrops, little beads, some little flower spaces, a very easy bracelet to make and a very lovely bracelet too. So how are you all doing today? For those of you who came to the bead show at Haydock Racecourse yesterday, it was so lovely to see you. Actually get to put a face to your name. So thank you so much if you were able to come along. Thank you for coming to say hello to me. I hope you bought some lovely things. We were very, very busy and I had the most amazing day. It was really, really lovely. So look forward to seeing you at the next one. So what have you been up to this weekend? I believe the weather was lovely in many, many places. So I hope you remember to put your sun cream on like we spoke about last live. I didn't see much of the sunshine. It was fairly bright. Obviously yesterday I spent it all indoors, but having a lot of fun. Apparently my husband did say it rained a little bit here off and on, but it was still very warm. So what have you been up to? What have you been making? Good morning to Elaine. She says, good morning, everybody. Diane says, morning, Natalie. Great to see you yesterday. Diane, it was so lovely to actually see your face. I hope you had a lovely time there too. Good morning to Diana. She's giving me a little wave and saying hello. So today, as I say, the bracelets we're making are very, very lovely. And there's only two colour choices for you today. We've got a gold colourway and a silver colourway. And we've got some beautiful coloured drops to go in there. But I'm also going to be showing you how to use the little wire guardians. I'll hold it up, but you won't see it because it's so small. So I'll show you that on the mat. So somebody was asking or suggested the other day that to prevent your tiger tail or whatever you're using kind of wearing a little bit round your clasp, then that's what they use. So I'm going to show you how to use them today. They're very straightforward to attach onto your bracelet, and they do give it a very nice finish. So I'm going to say hello to Nina. She says, good morning, Natalie and Beading family. Nicole says, hi, Natalie and everyone. I just had finished making a bracelet. Oh, lovely. What is it like, Nicole? What have you been using in that? What colours have you got? Mandy says, morning, Natalie, lovely to meet you. Lovely to meet you yesterday. It was lovely to see you too, Mandy. Brenda says, it's 4 a.m. Good morning. So good morning to you. Hello to Charlotte. Hello to Lucy. Francis is wishing everybody a good morning. Hello to Gwen. Caroline says, morning, Natalie and our Beading family. No rain yet here in Brixham. I don't think it's rained today. Maybe it did earlier on in the morning. I'm hoping not. I've got bags of goodies to be collected from a charity collection, so I've had to put them out front. So I'm hoping, although they're all bagged up, I'm hoping it doesn't rain so those toys don't get too soggy. Good morning to Leslie. Good morning to Camille. She says, good morning, Natalie. Hope you enjoyed all your parties and bead shows. Yes, I had a lovely time for my mum's birthday. I'm going to see my sister later today. It's her birthday this week as well. I had so much cake after we chatted about afternoon tea and eating everything. They were all just sitting in front of me and I couldn't leave them, but I actually felt sick afterwards. I'd ate that much. So yeah, everything in moderation. Good morning to Leslie. She says, nice to meet you yesterday, Natalie. Joe says, good morning. Sheila is wishing everybody a good morning. And Loretta, is that how I pronounce your name, lovely? She's watching in the US. So hello to you all over the place, wherever you're watching from. Thank you for joining me today. So I'm going to take you down onto the mat and then I'm going to take you over to the website. We've got a little bit of a discount for you today, and you should be able to make up 3 bracelets in each of these kits as well. So we're going to be including a lot of the beautiful Czech teardrops, and if you need to get more flower spaces, you can do that. Will probably stretch your makes out that little bit further. I think I use about 30 of the little flowers and I think 32 of the drops, and that makes about a 6.5 inch bracelet. So if you want to make that longer, you might want to add in a few extra bits and bobs as well. Good morning to Leslie. She says, nice to meet you. Good morning to Joe. Good morning to Sheila. Good morning to Judith. And good morning to Karen. Okay, so let's go down on the mat very quickly before I take you over to the website. You can see today we've got these gorgeous, gorgeous bracelets. Can we get a bit of focus? I've already got everything out on my mat. So I'm going to be making with the blue colourway today. But these are like, they look like garnets. They are Czech teardrops, but they are beautiful. The light is not going to pick this up. I want to try and get a bit of the light coming through it. Move that one out of the way, see if I can. They're like the most deep garnet red colour. So they're looking very dark on my light at the moment on my table. But they are like a very deep red. They're beautiful. So I'm going to pop the little wire protectors or the wire guards or wire guardians, whatever you refer to them as, on the end of these lovely little clasps. So we've got gorgeous little toggle clasps, and they will go on very pretty, very easy. Just slide in that toggle through. And we're going to do kind of like a up and down effect. These do move round, but when you're wearing them, they should go in the opposite direction. So they will sit like that. Very dainty, lovely little bracelets. Lucy says she's just got home in time for the live, so hello to you. Hello to Karen. Don't know if I've missed anybody. Good morning to Sue. She says, good morning, Natalie and everybody else. Bit overcast in Staines today, but hoping it'll cheer up a bit later on. Lucy says, wow, these are nice. Shame there's no pink kit. We've only got two kits for you today, two colours of these gorgeous drops. But I think they look very, very lovely. Jitty is here, so hello to you. Good morning to Yogi Caspi. She's Dorothy in Glasgow. Good morning to you all. So you're all saying, where have you been, Lucy? I hope you've had a nice morning. And good morning to Sue. So this one is what I'm calling like a garnet red colour. Very, very pretty. This one, which I think is my favourite, is a beautiful blue colourway, but it's got greens and purples and lovely colours running throughout them. If I hold it really close, can you see them? So they are predominantly blue, but they do have this lovely kind of sheen plated onto them. So they're very, very gorgeous. So this is the one that I'm going to be demoing with for you today. Joe says, oh, I love that one. And Sue says, oh, that blue is gorgeous. It really is. If I can show you a couple of them. So they've got this gorgeous plating. This one's a little bit more green. This one's got purples on it. And that one's got the blues. It is so lovely to be able to come along to the bead show, and you can, or if you go to the open days at the warehouse, because then you can see these products in the flesh with your own eyes and see how gorgeous the colours are on them. My camera never does them justice. Good morning to Elaine and good morning to Shirley. She says, good morning. I was just getting ready to go to bed and I popped on. I'm so excited to be here. Shirley, we have not seen you for ages. How are you, my love? Are you still going and getting that beautiful rose quartz? Shirley goes and mines her own stones and cuts and shapes them, if I remember that correct, Shirley, because I'm still waiting for my invite to come over and play. Good morning to Stacey. She says, good morning. First time watching one of your live, stunning colour combo. Well, thank you so much for joining us, Stacey. It is lovely to have you with us. And everybody is saying hello to you and also to Shirley. Mina says, I love the clearance kit box Simon had at the NEC. We did have a box there yesterday, Mina, which was a lot of our older kits which had been on numerous like TV programs, and they were all like less than half price. So That was very lovely. There was lots of things. There was even things there yesterday that I hadn't seen before, because obviously they're laid out differently from when I go to the warehouse, and they're on all their shelves and things. So it was nice to see them laid out on the table, because as I was helping advise some of our lovely customers with maybe what clasps to use and different techniques they might want to try, I spotted a few things as well, that I'm going to be eagerly making for. Lucy says she loves a bargain box, and Jackie is saying hello as well. Okay, so I'm going to turn you back up and I'm going to take you over to our website. So if you are new to us, then this is how you do it. So let me show you the wonderful world of TotallyBeads online. So we're going to totallybeads.co.uk. Hopefully you can see it okay here. And there's different ways you can scroll down into the video categories. So you can go here to video tutorials, or you can click on this big logo at the top. Now, for those of you who have been with us a long time, this isn't new to you, but for those that are new to us who may have met me yesterday, I want to show you just the amount of tutorials that we have. So the tutorials at the top of what we've been working on the last couple of lives. So we do lives Monday, Wednesday and Friday at 10 a.m. pretty much every single week. There might be the occasional one we have off, but we'll let you know in advance. So these are the things that we've been making lately. Kitty's done this beautiful Mia bracelet, which was on display and sold very well. The Aria bracelet, which I did, I think it was last week, that I think I'd say that was possibly our best seller yesterday. It was lovely to see lots of you liking that one. So you can see all the different things that we've been doing, but you can also search by bead. So if you know you want to make with something that you have in stock, you can click on those. You can search by kind. So you might think, I want to make a bracelet, or I want to make a necklace. You can look by technique. So you might think, I want to use wire, or I want to use memory wire. I want to use tiger tail. I'm looking for a particular stitch. And there are so many tutorials in there. There are hundreds. So you can have a little look. So for example, if you wanted to do brick stitch, you could see all of these different types of tutorials that we've done using the brick stitch technique. You could have a look if you wanted to do something elastic, all of the different ideas and bracelets and things we've made using the elastic. So you can see on here there's absolutely loads, and I think there is something for everybody, regardless of what you're looking for, regardless of particular, techniques you want to use. There is so much in there. So please have a little look. Today we are at the top here, which is our Reaver bracelet. So you've got two colorways today. Usually, again, if you're new to us, this is quite unusual that we only have two colorways. We usually have about 10 to choose from. And we'll make up little samples for you to have a little look at those. But today we've got two. So we've got the Reaver Drop bracelet in Dusk, which is, as I refer to as kind of the garnet coloured red one. And we've got the Reaver Drop bracelet in Nightfall, which is that beautiful blue I was showing you. So the Dusk is on your gold plated findings. You're going to get your lobster clasp and your toggle clasp and your jump rings and your findings in the gold. For the Nightfall, that's going to be on a rhodium. So you're going to get all your clasp and your findings in the rhodium plated. And they are £8 today, and you're going to make up 3 bracelets. So this one was £9, is now £8. The Nightfall was £8 and is now £7. So there's a £1 discount on each of those. And if you have a little look, it will show you what's in your kit. So you're going to make 3 bracelets up. Each bracelet will probably be about 6.5 inches. So you might want to use a little bit more if you want to make them a bit longer. If you want to add in any extras, I would suggest probably more of the flower spacer beads. So it will tell you all the details for the sizes. So what you're getting in this kit is you're going to get these flower spacer beads, which are these ones here that go in between, and you're going to get your tiger tail. You're also going to get your Czech teardrop beads, which are these ones here. You're going to get 6 pieces of the wire protectors. So again, that'll make up 3 bracelets. You're getting 3 toggle clasps, and they are like a rope effect. They're very, very lovely, and they're 10 millimeters. You're getting 12 pieces of your crimp beads and 6 pieces of your 6mm jump rings. So all of what you need to make these bracelets are included in the kit. Now, if you scroll down a little bit further, you get to see the individual things that we're using. So all of the components are here for you. If you think, well, I know I need to get some more antique gold of the flowers, what are they? You can click on them and you can see you can get another 30 pieces for just £1 there. You can see the colour of the beads that we're using, and all the different things that will be included in your kit will be shown there for you individually. So this one is the dusk. Also, if you're new to us, I shouldn't have clicked off that then, you'll get 10% off, I think, your first order as well if you sign up, so you can get our newsletter. And then in the Nightfall colourway, you're getting all of the same materials, just in this different colourway. So you're getting your flower spacer beads, your tiger tail, your Czech teardrop beads, your pieces of your wire protectors, your toggle clasp, your crimp beads, and your jump rings. All of that in the Nightfall is £7 for you today. And take advantage of our delivery. So the delivery is from £1.25 depending on where you are in the world. We do ship worldwide, and you also get free UK delivery if you're here with us in the UK when you spend £30 or more, and they are quick as a flash to get your orders boxed up and sent out to you. So they usually arrive within a couple of days. I know some people have ended up with like next day delivery, depending on what time you order in the warehouse. We'll get that for you. So hopefully that's kind of clarified anything to our newbies. If you've got any questions, please pop a Q in front of your comment and I can identify that for you. If you've got a tip to share, then pop a T in the front and let us all know your wonderful your techniques and your tips there. So Lucy says, I love that all the tutorials are in one place. I think it's brilliant. It's so easy to find what you're looking for. I never go by date, because if I go by, I can never remember what date things were in. I was like, is that March? Was that May? Which year was that? So I always think, I'm making with this, what do I need to look for? And I'll go usually by technique or whichever kind of bead I'm using. Sue says, I'm waiting on some different colour beads for the area. Watch this space. Mina says, I filled my basket with gemstone chips this morning. Lovely, Nina. Which ones have you gone for? Celia says, good morning. Sorry, I was on a call at work. That's okay, Celia. You join us whenever you can. If you can't watch us live, you can always catch up and watch us. We're on YouTube. All those tutorials are in that place for you to check that I've just showed you, and we're always live on Facebook as well. Good morning to Pauline. She says she's a little bit late this morning. Hello to Seema. Karen is watching from Maryland in the USA, so hello to you, Karen. Camille is wishing everybody a good morning, specifically Karen, I think there. Mandy says she loves my necklace. Thank you very much. I didn't make this one myself. I've had this for quite a while, but it's very easy to do. They're just some chunky beads. And Karen says, let us see your necklace. It looks beautiful. Okay, so they're just chunky beads, but as I didn't make this one. I got this prior to my jewelry making discoveries. So for me now, I don't really buy much jewelry. I make it all. So just some lovely big chunky beads and just on a little black cord. So Sharon says, good morning, creative beadiners. A bit late this morning. Right, I'm going to crack on because I've been chatting quite a little while already. Just so excited to be back on a live. I had a really lovely time yesterday. So I'm going to take you down on the mat. So I'm going to make the blue colourway today, which is this one. So what I've done is I've cut my tiger tail to about 25 centimetres. Now, usually I'll pop a bead stopper on, or I will attach my findings first and work along. If I use a bead stopper and I'm using different kind of, I don't know, a different type of pattern, I usually start from maybe the middle out, especially with a necklace. When I'm going for a bracelet like this, I'm going to be putting on the same beads in the same order, just having a little wiggle of them, and I love the fact that these move around. So I don't really need to pay too much attention to what I'm popping on. So I'm going to start off using this. Can you see this? This is your little wire guard or wire guardian, depends what you kind of refer to it as. And they are like a little U shape, like a horseshoe. And it has a little channel that runs around the back of it. So it may make your bracelets last a little bit longer. They are kind of used to protect your thread. So it'll relieve some of the stress and some of the tension on whatever you're using. I'm using the tiger tail. So it means that my findings, so my clasp, is going to be sitting inside this metal part. So anytime it's kind of rubbing or like you're wearing it, it's going to be rubbing against the metal and not your tiger tail. So it should make your jewelry last a little bit longer, and it should protect that tiger tail. You can use crimp covers as well with this if you want to. So it's just kind of going to make sure that your clasp runs across the back of this little part here, and they're very easy to use. Sharon says, good morning. Facebook user says, hi. Camille says, excuse me, do you go out and look at jewelry in shops, etc., and then think I can make that myself? I do. Yes, Camille, I am guilty of that. Yesterday, what I loved most was seeing all these other people who clearly made their own jewelry, and I was like, oh, I love that necklace, and oh, I like this, and oh, I like that. So lots of inspiration just by getting to see other bakers' makes as well. Karen says, I love using wire guardians. They keep the friction down on the wire. Yes, they absolutely do. Sue says she has them, and Alumni is saying good morning. So hello to you, lovely. Stacey is saying she does. She also sees cheap jewelry and think how she can make it better. I used to. What I started doing was getting like old jewelry from charity shops and things, and then taking it apart and like making it into something new. Okay, so with your wire guardian, I'm going to pop this on first. So I'm going to get 2 crimp beads out of my pack, and I'm going to pop that onto my tiger tail first. People might have different methods of doing this. This is just the way I do it. And then I'm going to pop my tiger tail through one of the little holes in the wire protector or guardian, whatever you're going to call it. And I'm going to move it around the back and back through the other side, and then give it a little bit of a push up. So what, if you can see that, what that's doing is it's making sure that my wire is sitting in this little channel, or my tiger tail is sitting in that little channel, and it's going to be nice and flush up against that. Now at this stage, if you want to, before you put your crimp beads on, I think I've just had crimp bead slide off, you can attach your clasp. So you could attach whatever clasp you're using directly onto this. I'm still going to use a jump ring. Where have I put my jump rings? Now I thought I had everything out this morning. Again, if you're new to us, this might be something that you're not used to, but people who watch me all the time will always notice I forget something. So I'm just going to get my jump rings out of my packet. Just bear with me. Okay, so you can add your jump ring on now if you want to. With it being a jump ring that I can open, I can always attach it on at the end. It doesn't matter. But I'll pop it on now just to show you. If I was going to just attach it directly onto the clasp, I would pop it on now. I'd just make sure if my clasp had a front or a back, that it was on in the right direction that I wanted. Okay, crimp beads. I'm now going to just move my tiger tail down a little bit more, actually, because I'd like a little bit more of a tail on that. So I'm popping my crimp beads on, and I'm making sure that both ends of that tiger tail are running back through. Pop on this one again, which has come off the end. And I'm just going to give it a little pull, just to make sure that it's snug against that wire protector. And then I'm going to crimp my beads down as usual. So I'm just crimping the crimp beads flat to make sure that that tiger tail isn't going to come loose and it's nice and snug. So I'm now looking like I've got this at this stage. And again, you can pop a crimp cover onto that if you wish. Good morning, Ruth. Good morning, Angela. Good morning to anyone I may have missed. Sue is saying good morning to Aliumai. Lucy is saying, thank you so much for the stars, Mandy. Thank you so much too. That is really, really kind of you. Okay, now I'm just going to start popping on my beads. So I'm going to use these lovely little flower ones. I'm going to pop that one on first. And I'm going to pop it on that little tail of tiger tail that's coming down as well. If I can't fit them through the beads, I will trim it off nice and close. But if I can bring it back down, I will do. So then I'm just going to pop on the first of my lovely Czech teardrops. And I'm just going to see, can I get that tiger tail through? I can get both of them through. So I'm just popping on my little teardrop, pushing that up, and then all I'm going to do is just alternate these beads. So one of the flowers, again, I'm just going to pull it over both ends of those tiger tail pieces before I give that a little trim off. So I'm going to push that up nice and snug, and then I'm going to add my other Czech teardrop on. But I'm going to position this on in the opposite direction. Now they do move about a little bit, but I think that's quite nice. But what I'm going to do is I'm trying to get an effect where they kind of stagger, so they go up and down. So all I'm doing, really, really straightforward. Again, another lovely project. If you're new to jewellery making, you're going to be able to buy a little kit, and you're going to be able to get 3 bracelets out of your kit, and you'll have no trouble doing this, and it'll give a lovely little finish. So I managed to get my tiger tail through those holes, so I'm not going to need to trim that off, I don't think. If you're ever using a bead where you can't get it back through, just hold it close to the top, maybe bend it to get your beads out the way, and then with your flush cutters, just give it a little trim off. Karen says, I've not had success with crimp beads. I use crimp tubes. You can use a crimp tube or a crimp bead with this design, whichever you prefer. I always use crimp beads just because that's what I've got in my stash, but it doesn't matter really. Use whatever you feel is most compatible with the project that you're working on, and also what you find easiest to use. So all I'm doing is just adding on one of my little flowers, my little flower beads, like a little spacer, and then I'm adding on the next Czech bead. Really straightforward. Sliding them on, and I'm just pushing them up. So I am going to get them where they sit like this, but as I say, it does move a little bit. I'm just going to push them up a little bit more, but I'll fiddle about with them at the end when I've got all my beads on to make sure that they're fitting and sitting nice and snugly. So your Czech teardrops have got a little hole that runs through the top and out the other side. So they're kind of top drilled. and that gives them a lovely little dangle. Again, I don't think I've made with these before. I think they'd make sweet little earrings as well. So if you've got some left over in your stash after you've made your bracelets, you might want to make a little drop pair of earrings. They'd also look very nice on a necklace. So maybe you don't want to make a bracelet, maybe you want to do this design and make it as a full necklace instead. But I love the different colour kind of plating on these particular ones. You see that one looks really purple, and the others look greeny blue. They're just so lovely. So very straightforward. I'm just adding on and alternating which way up and what bead. So I'm using about 32 of these Czech drops, and I'm using about 30 of my little silver flower bead kind of spaces, and that's going to give me approximately 6.5 inches on my bracelet. You can, if you want, obviously I'm using the lovely toggle clasp provided, but again, you can always add extender chains on to your makes. If you're making for somebody else and you don't know what size they need, or you're making to sell, you might have a fair coming up and you might think, I want to make something which is going to fit as many people as possible, so you've got more potential buyers. Then you might want to add on a little extender chain, and then that way people can adjust the size they need. So they go on really easy, very straightforward, just slide them on. So you are going to get an awful lot in your kits today. Let's say the garnet coloured dusk one, I think was £8, and this one is just £7. So cost per bracelet, I think, is a bargain. And they're very quick makes as well. You'll be able to make this up in 10-15 minutes. I do like a nice, quick, simple make, especially if I've got lots of colourways to put together. Sometimes I might be putting together like 10 different colours of something. So if it's nice and quick, I think we can give you usually a lot more colour choice. So hopefully we will get some more of these gorgeous Czech teardrop beads in different colours for you, and we can use them again on a different project. Has anybody else used these before? I definitely don't think I have, so I don't know whether they are new to TotallyBeads, these gorgeous Czech teardrops. I've used others in a similar shape, but none in this gorgeous colour. Lucy said the beads are so nice. So I'm not giving it much thought. I'm just sliding them on, and then I can flip them round as I need to, because they're not on too snugly just yet. So there will be a little bit of movement. They're also not very heavy either, so it feels very comfortable to wear. So sliding them on, just move that down a little bit. Let me count how many I've got, because I think this might be a good length for me. I think I'm going to finish off. Doesn't matter if you finish off with one of your flowers or with one of the drops. I think that's probably a good size. Let me measure that for me. Obviously, I'm going to be adding on my toggle, so I'm going to have a little bit extra. Yeah, I think by the time I attach my toggle onto that, that should fit me nicely. So now what I'm going to do is attach the other wire protector. Diane's asking, are there enough for a necklace? It'll make 3 bracelets, Diane, so I would imagine it would make a necklace. It does obviously depend on the length in which you're wanting to make them. So as I say, for an average 1 bracelet, I'm using about 30 of the little flowers. So you'll probably get 90 in your pack. There's, I think, 30 in each pack, so you'll get 3 packs of them. So it does depend how you position them. You know, you might just want to make this part the front and then add on some other little beads or some other little seed beads and just have this as a front feature. So yes, you're going to have enough to make a necklace depending on the design in which you put that necklace together. Judith says, I've got a little collection of Czech drops. They're great for kumihimo. Oh, I'd like to see that, Judith. I've not done some kumihimo for ages. Not really done much macrame for a while, so watch this space. There might be something coming up soon. Sue says, I seem to remember using beads similar to the teardrop years ago at an adult egg class. We did what I guess was an adaptation of the Hugs and Kisses bracelet. I'll try to find it and get a picture later. Please do. And again, if you're new to us, join the handmade group. So we are on Facebook as TotallyBeads handmade group. If Lucy could pop that link in, that'd be really appreciated. Thank you, Lucy. And you can join that group and share your makes with everybody in there. Everybody is very, very, very lovely. No one ever gives anything negative in terms of constructive criticism. If you would like to know how to improve something, then ask and people will be very kind and give their suggestions. If you just want to show off your make, then do that, because it gives lots of people many ideas in terms of what they might do. You might buy this kit and, like Diane said, make a necklace instead with it, so people get to see your lovely makes. Lucy has said, bead buying is a hobby in itself. Yes, it is. Good morning to Edward, and this is the link for the group. Thank you so much, Lucy. I appreciate that. So the link above is for here on my screen. There. There's the handmade group. Okay, so I'm just going to pop on my 2 crimp beads again. And I always double crimp them, so I've just got that little extra kind of sturdiness. So I'm going to make sure my beads, excuse me, I've got a tickle today. Let me have a sip of my water. So I'm making sure my beads are positioned as I want them to be, so there's no gaps, they're nice and flush together. And that tiger tail is running through them nicely at the top there. I'm going to pop on my wire protector or wire guardian or wire guard. Again, they've got different names, but it's the same thing. I'm running that wire back through that little channel at the top. If you want to, you can add on your clasp now or your jump ring, but I'm going to leave this one off, and I'm just going to open up my jump ring at the end to show you how to do that if you need to. So now what I'm going to do is I'm going to bring this part of my tiger tail back through those crimp beads. So I'm going to try and hold it up so you can see what I'm doing, and hopefully I won't be all fingers and thumbs. Tend to find it easier to lay things flat when I'm making, but obviously I want you to be able to see what I'm doing. So I've got that tiger tail coming back through. Just going to get my pliers just to help guide that back, and I'm going to pull it tight. So now my wire is running nicely and sitting through the top there. Nicole says, the knife fall colour is so pretty. I made an adjustable bracelet version earlier and shared pics to the group page from my bead stash. I used a colourful mix, tan, yellow, green and red, and of tiny Czech glass brios with a mookaite at the centre focal. That sounds lovely, Nicole. I'll check that out a little bit later. Okay, if you can run your tiger tail. Just going to trim that little bit off actually, because I might be able to get that back through if it's cut more flush. So if you can, run the tiger tail back through a couple of your beads. I am getting it through, but I don't know, but I've not got it in sharp, but I am doing it, trust me. Okay, I can see it coming back through that little flower. So I'm going to give it a little bit of a push and then I'm going to trim it off. Might get it through one at a time. So I'm pulling that back through and making sure it's tight. So if I need to move it down, I'm going to let gravity just drop that bead. And then if I need to push anything down, I can do that just to tighten it up. So I'm doing all of this before I crimp my crimp beads or my crimp tube, whatever you're using. I'm going to take it back through that flower. And I'm just going to trim it off here. So let me check it's nice and snug. There's no gaps in that. Arrange my beads how I want them to be. Okay. So when I'm happy it's nice and taut, I'm then going to crimp my crimp beads by just flattening them down with my pliers. Again, you can put your crimp covers on there as well. And then I'm just going to hold my little end of the tiger tail that's coming out. I've just run back through some of those beads. And I'm going to hold with my non-dominant hand my beads to hold them out the way, so I can trim that up nice and close. And then I'm just going to, let's say you can just reflip these round if you need to, if they've slightly moved. And now I'm going to add on my jump ring and my toggle clasp. So if I'm opening my jump ring up, I'm going to use all of my pliers to get as much grip on that as possible, and just leaving that tiny gap at the top. Let's move this out the way. And I'm just going to open it up by moving it towards me or away from me, and then that's not going to distort the shape of that jump ring. So I've opened it up like this, and then I'm just going to slide that through that little wire guardian that we've attached, and then add on one of the halves of my toggle clasp. And then I'm going to close it over by going just past the point that it meets. So when I let go, that should form that ring nice and closely. Lucy says, I'd have my tongue out and everything at that bit. I always forget that you can see me in the corner. I'm down here, aren't I? So you may have seen me with my tongue out. We did have a conversation quite a while ago about the funny faces you pull when you're trying to thread a needle. Angela, is that the look of concentration? Could you see on my face? And Judith says she's just thinking the same thing. Sorry, I do apologise. Sometimes I forget I'm on camera. Okay, so I'm opening this one up. So again, just open it towards me or away from me. Add on the other part of my clasp and then in the opposite direction just to close it over. So I've been chatting a lot today, but you'll be able to make that in about 15 minutes. And I think it's really, really, really pretty. Look at the colours. So I am going to attempt to put it on because I know this size should be right for me. So I'm holding on to my toggle, putting it through the little loop. So you can attach them very easily. So you can take them off. I mean, this is still a little bit big for me, but they look lovely and they're really comfortable on. Lucy says, very nice and simple but effective bracelet. I love it. And Karen says, I love the mermaid colourway of this bracelet. It's lovely, isn't it, Karen? This is the link for today. So if you're coming in late or you're just joining us, you've missed the make, but you can watch us back. We are at totallybeads.co.uk/Facebook tutorials /Riva drop bracelet. So that's it. That's as easy as it is. I'm gonna pop this one on too. This one's a little bit longer again. So I'm just holding on to the toggle, bring it through that little loop on the clasp. There you go, there's them both. I think these would make a very nice necklace. So Diane, if you're going to make that, please share it in the group. I want to see. Actually look quite nice when you slot them in together like that. Judith says, it's a lovely bracelet. I have plenty of findings, but I've ordered the beads. Thank you, Judith. I hope you enjoy making it. Do share what you've made. And Mandy says, beautiful as always. So, very straightforward, very quick make today, and 2 lovely looking bracelets for you. Lucy is saying thank you for showing us. Joe Trick says she's ordered mine in blue and she can't wait to make it. Pauline says I like them both, difficult to choose. They are bargain prices today. You're going to get 3 bracelets in each kit. The blue one is £7, which is £1 off, and your what was it called, Dusk, which was the kind of garnet coloured one, that is £8, and that should have been £9. So you get £1 off each of them, and you're going to be able to make up 3 bracelets. So very, very lovely. Angela says thank you. So you are most welcome. Thank you so much for joining me today. If you are new, thank you for coming to play with us, and thank you for watching us, whatever you've been up to. Thank you for taking time out of your day to come and join us at Totally Beads on Facebook and YouTube. We've had some lovely comments today, and I love seeing all the regulars in as well. We're a very friendly bunch, and I feel like we are a beading family. So I love you all millions. Thank you for joining me today. Sheila says a lovely make, Natalie. Thank you. You're welcome. So I will be back with you on Friday. Kitty's back with you Wednesday. I'm back with you Friday. On Friday I'm making I'm making a necklace, and they're kind of going to look like little daisy chains. You might be able to see. Can't ever get my camera angle right. It's that way. So here, there, you might be able to have a little sneaky peek of what we're going to be doing on Friday, and I will be back with you then. So have a lovely week, and I will see you soon. Lots of love and light to you. Take care. Bye.